Hello, everybody, and once again, I am Justin Pontarelli, and today we're going to be doing some. I know you want me to say Interstellar Pilot, don't you? No, it's going to be Among Us and a rant. So, if you don't like Among Us, and if you don't like ranting, click off now. You've been warned. But if you don't mind either of those two things, stick around. You might enjoy it. I'll try to make it worth your while. So, let's just start off for fun by reading the announcements here. The servers now have some anti-hacks which seem to help. The servers might accidentally ban you for hacking until all the bugs are fixed. If you aren't hacking, don't worry, and join a new room. We are also working on an account system with reporting and moderation features to fight toxicity. We will launch it as soon as it is done sometime in November. Finally, as a reminder, that Among Us 2 is canceled because we're putting all our work back into Among Us 1. Thanks for playing. Okay. So, your next question might be, okay, he said Among Us and a rant. What's the rant about? Hold on. So that would be about some of the silly articles I read after me and my brother started talking politics today, after wondering if all this election mumbo jumbo's over with. It's not over with. And if you guys saw earlier, I was doing some election news of my own just for fun. Not that it's actual news, because you can get the same information off of the Associated Press, which is where I was pulling my stats from. Okay? You just go into Google, type in election, whatever, 2020 votes, whatever, you're going to find instantly the AP is giving you stats on which states lean which way and basically who has votes right now. Okay. Now, I don't know if that means that the electors have voted yet, because when I say electors, I mean the actual people that actually elect the president. In other words, people from the Electoral College. Yes, it's an actual thing. Yes, there's actual electors. Okay? And if they're doing what they're supposed to do, they're supposed to pick the person that the state picked. By the state, I mean the people of the state. Okay. Take, for example, the state of Alaska. In Alaska, just to start the rant properly, Jo Jorgensen, the Libertarian candidate, polled 2.7 of the vote. Or you can say earned 2.7 of the vote in Alaska, which equates to around 5,000 votes versus, say, Trump's 100,000, and I forget what Biden has. Okay. So now, 1 second. Had to blow my nose. Got my water here, which you can't see because I turned off the camera. So the rant is based on this idea. Oops, I want that color. Give me red. Okay, let's just check the stats here. So they added some more options on the sidebar, namely anonymous votes and taskbar updates. Oh, that's a lot of vision. That's some fast speed. That's a really this won't be bad. Good options here. I like it. I'm okay with this. Biden is winning. Who cares? Well, I guess I care, but you know, hey. Not Mr. Beast left the game. Awesome. We got like 4 people left. We're dead anyway. Okay, let's fix the wiring, I suppose. Oh, symbols too. That's annoying. I forgot that was a thing. Hey, I just finished a task. Oh, we can see the hats now of the people. Awesome. That's much better. It's white. Okay. Fine, it's white. I don't care. That's from 2020. I need that votes. Oh, good gracious. So this could be, uh, so Orange is probably lying through his teeth. Oh, no, he was not lying. Okay, so either he read it out of his buddy. I know, I really got to focus on the game, or not the game. I got to focus on my rant because I don't care about the game right now. I'm just doing this for background. You ever watch one of those videos where they do both the engine routine? I don't like that engine routine. And the engine routine is really... Oh, hey, it's Pink. Someone kill her. Someone kill Pink. Orange is our watchdog. Thanks, Socks. Appreciate it. So there's a news article, or a couple of news articles, I believe. One of them was posted by Fox. One of them might have been posted by, I don't know, I forgot, maybe USA Today. I have no idea. I forgot. I really don't know. So once again, as always, there's always news about, oh, spoilers, third-party spoilers. Okay, so the argument is that, from Fox anyway, that people who voted for Jo Jorgensen, okay, the libertarian candidate, pulled votes away from Trump. And I'm going to say that's hogwash. Okay. Now, although Jo Jorgensen admits that that a lot of her campaign workers, her volunteers, were in fact both registered were both registered Democrats and both registered Republicans. Because if you check out their platform, what they traditionally say is that traditionally, anyway, the Libertarian Party has traits of both the Republican Party and the Democrats, at least traditionally. Okay. But Jorgensen basically said that nowadays both parties are going further and further away from their traditional platforms and going off in weird different directions, so that it's kind of hard to tell nowadays the difference between both the Republican and Democrat Party. Okay. So, but getting back to the idea of the spoiler effect. So in fact, this one, I think it was a female writer, not to be sexist, right? I would have said the same thing regardless of if it was male or female. I just wanted to throw that out there. She says that basically she believes that now I'm gonna get all like distracted. I can't walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. It's just crazy. Reactor meltdown in 20 seconds. We're all gonna die. The argument was we're gonna, votes are being taken away, right? Basically, like, oh, you're gonna waste your vote. Okay. It's like, go ahead, waste your vote, blah blah blah, right? Don't kill me. Go away. Did we get gas? We did not get gas already. Okay. Purple work. Why is that not working? Okay. The argument is, oh, you're wasting your vote. No, I'm not. And the other argument was, well, the vote was taken away from Trump. Okay, but there's another article written by a different person who says you're taking votes away from Biden if you vote for a third-party candidate. In particular, Jo Jorgensen, the Libertarian, who got, I guess, nationally 1.1% of the vote. and in places like Alaska as high as, what did I say it was, 3 point something, 5 point something? Yellow, blue. So, okay. I don't care. Just, my heart's not even in the game right now. I just don't care. Good job, yellow guy and orange guy. Orange guy was the detective last round. Now it's just, that's what we lost. He was our detective. I'm not even concentrating. It's like, they're not even getting like a real player. I'm just kind of along for the ride. I'm just here to like do stuff and... what happened to my game? Where'd my timer go? I think my thing just broke. It really just broke. It broke. What happened? What happened? No. Get away. Go this way. Come on. I hope it didn't hurt anything. I'm back. Yay. I'm back, baby. Okay, so what's the argument, right? So according to Fox, people who voted Libertarian could have, should have voted for Trump and supported him, and they took votes away from Trump. And in those crucial swing states especially, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And there's people on the opposite side of the fence that say the same thing, that people that voted for the Libertarian could have, should have voted for Biden, and that votes were taken away from Biden. Okay. So that's the argument, right? The spoiler effect. Okay, that's the so-called, I'm going to say, mythological spoiler effect. First of all, that presumes one thing. That, for example, I admitted already that I voted for Jo Jorgensen, the Libertarian, okay, and I live in New York. If you check out New York, not the city, but the state. Remember, there's New York State and New York City. There's a difference. I live in upstate, way far away from New York, okay? The city, okay, way far away from the city, okay? My county, I'll just be honest and say my county went blue. There was no way the county was going to go red. There was no way, okay? Not even if a few hundred, even if 1,000 or two people voted blue or red, it's not going to make a difference. Trust me. Ow, get over there. Okay, it would not have made a difference. I didn't even finish a task yet. That's gotta be a self-report. So... Sure, why not? One in Rome, just vote for the master. Okay, so, that's the so-called effect. That votes were pulled away from either Trump or Biden. But this presumes one thing. This presumes that the person voting for a certain candidate, a certain third-party candidate, was going to potentially vote for someone else. Okay? In my opinion, this is a faulty presumption. And let me just say that there was no way that my vote was ever going to go in this election cycle to Trump or Biden. In other words, my vote is literally non-transferable. Non-transferable. Okay. This is just too fast, man. Everyone's just dropping like. Okay, if it's not orange, we're fine because orange was the guy last time. So anyway. So I'm just telling me who to vote for because I'm tired. I just don't care. I'm just like, I want to rant. It's blue. He killed green. Fine. Blue it is then. You know, this assumes, the whole spoiler effect assumes that these votes for a third party or an independent candidate would have been transferable to, say, Trump or Biden. Okay. And I'll explain to you in a couple moments why that's not the case. Well, is your countdown timer now? These guys are like, okay, we could just close the door and try not to get bit. Maybe jump off the train. I don't know. Where's the button for getting out of here? Oh, yeah. Where's the... Oh, there's the button. This is bad, man. This is just really bad. Come on, give me the button. Oh, before they just had ads that you close. Now it's like actual countdown ads. That's annoying. Wow. Okay, so why is it not the case? Why are the votes non-transferable? Okay. In this election, for example, I acknowledge the fact that, in my opinion, this is an opinion piece, guys. So take it with a grain of salt, toss it out the window. I don't care what you do with it. Just realize it's an opinion. And opinions are like booty holes. Everyone has one, so relax. It's not a big deal, okay? And I'll just tell you right now, your guy did not lose because of me. If your guy loses or wins, it's not my fault. I had nothing to do with it, okay? I live in New York. My state went blue. One more vote for Biden in New York State wasn't going to help him. One less state for Trump in this state in New York was not going to help Trump. It wasn't going to fix the issue for Trump. Okay. Even if all of the people that voted for Jo Jorgensen in New York State voted for Trump, he's not going to win. He was not going to win New York State. Honest to goodness. Okay. But of course, people might say, for example, the person for Fox News would argue, I'm not even paying attention. I'm just like not even paying attention. Like, who was it? Two imposters made. Is it pink? I don't know. Probably pink. Okay, anyway. Get in there. Get my voting. Gotta go. I have to go vote. It's not votes. It's the card swipe. Swipe your card too slow. Okay. So, but the argument is in swing states, they say, supposedly in swing states, this is way too fast. I cast my vote. I don't care anymore. I'm not even care. I'm just here to play a game and just talk. All right. Lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I'm talking too fast. I'm trying to play a game and I'm losing my train of thought. Orange thinks it's me. It wasn't me. It wasn't pink either. Oh well. This guy's all like, look, I'm naked. I'm in a field, butt naked, working in the fields. Buddy, shoes? You know, I understand it's Probably like what, the olden days, you know. But they had sandals back then. You could like make leather sandals, you know. I don't think leather work was beyond their realm of understanding at this point. I have a hard time believing that there's a guy out there, scalped bald, buck naked in the fields, you know. Just no. Without shoes on? No. No. If they're making metal tools, they can make sandals for the poor guy. And some cloth for a shirt. Or at least like a you know, like an apron. I don't know what do you want to call them, a cape. I don't know. Can I customize? Am I the host? I'm not the host. I want to be that color. It's my color, man. It's my color, dude. Sure. Ah. Green instead. I want black. It's my color. I'm the black ninja. No, I want to be black. Anyway, so um so acknowledging the fact that I believe that Trump did a few things that were probably good, at least according to my opinion. Okay, going back to it's an opinion piece, so relax. I just fail to see how that Biden would be better, and I disagree with the orange man bad concept. I'm not going to vote via fear and say orange man bad, vote for Biden. That's not how I operate. I operate on the premise of vote your conscience. And this person writing this opinion piece for Fox says, well, you know, if you just throw away your vote, so-called, and become a spoiler, you're going to end up with someone that you don't want. Guess what? If I vote for Trump and Trump wins, I end up with someone I don't want. If I vote for Biden and Biden wins, I end up with someone I don't want. Okay? Of course, her argument was, well, you could vote with someone that you agree with maybe 80%. I want to say, lady, 80%'s not enough. It's not enough. I ran down what the Libertarian Party platform is, and I agree with it more than I agree with, say, the Republican or Democrat platform. Therefore, my vote is non-transferable. It's for listing off fruits. It's non-transferable. Okay. So the what if question gets asked, well, what if there was no other options except for the Democrat or Republican Party? Guys, I have no problem playing hypothetical games or what if games, so I'll play it. What if that was the case? I would have voted for Trump. So the lady from Fox News would have said, haha, see? Then you should have done it, and Trump could be winning right now. First of all, I live in New York State. Even if everyone in New York State that had voted for Jo Jorgensen had voted for Trump, Biden would still have won New York State. This can be proven statistically. Now, maybe if she's talking about other places, and that's what she's saying. She's saying in other swing states, if those people had voted for Trump, that had voted for Jo Jorgensen instead, then those states would have won over to Trump. But she's making the assumption that all the supporters for Jo Jorgensen were swinging to the right and would have been likely to support Trump. But this is a faulty premise, because as Jo Jorgensen herself states, she had people from both parties registered as Democrats and Republicans working for her campaign. Okay, so it's not the fault of a third-party candidate. Okay, it's either good campaigning by Biden or Biden's people that helped the Biden camp, or it's good campaigning on the side of Trump and the Trump camp that helped Trump, or it's the lack of promise keeping by Trump that hurt Trump, or it's the lack of likability by Biden that hurts Biden. It's not a third party candidate coming along and supposedly sucking away votes from Biden or Trump that hurt Biden or Trump. Okay? That's not the case. Okay? In my opinion, you have to earn my vote every cycle. So in my opinion, in my case, yeah, we'll say in my case, I'm not registered for either party, for either Democrat or Republican. And in past election cycles, I voted for the Constitution Party candidate. This is actually my first year voting for the Libertarian candidate. I believe that a candidate should earn my vote, and that if I want to vote for a party or, say a party's candidate, that I should do so, or one should do so, based upon that party's platform. Okay? So if they can become president, now like I pointed out in a previous video, just recently in fact, the president has nothing to do with making the laws. But they do have a lot of influence over what things can get done, okay? So, yeah. So we'll be very honest and say it's not as if the wall got started because Trump passed a law. No. Trump had nothing to do with that. It would be that people in Congress or whatever, or in the House or whatever, started to pass a law about making the wall. That's where the things get going. All it had to do was come across Trump's desk, and all he had to do was say, yes, please. And that was it. Okay? You guys get to watch these little dudes fly around the screen. Who was the taskmaster anyway? So I'm not the guy. I think Imposter might be the host now. Interesting. I'll go be red. I want red. There you go. Awesome. So every year I believe that a candidate should earn your vote. That your vote should not automatically simply go to Republican because you've always voted Republican, or to the Democrat because you've always voted Democrat. But if you vote based upon tradition, that's up to you. I have to respect that, okay? What annoys me... Yes, something disappeared. What annoys me is that when people tell me I wasted my vote, or that I was a spoiler, okay? That's what annoys me, personally. This poor person's bored. Poor fella. Speed is pretty slow. There's a lot of tasks on. Visuals are on. Whatever. 5 people and we're starting already? That's silly. That seems dumb. Well, we're all gonna die. Maybe you'll try to win this game. Don't let Bill kill me. Didn't even see it. He says black. I was with him, so it's black. Alright, so I wasn't paying attention, but the guy was so close to me, it wasn't him. Unless he ran off in my peripheral. Anyway, so you know, if the Republican wants if Republicans want my vote, their candidate has to earn it. If a Democrat wants my vote, the Democrat has to earn it. Okay, my vote's non-transferable. If there was a what-if scenario where I had no other choice but to vote for a Republican or Democrat, yeah, I would have voted for Trump. Okay. But we do live in a democracy where we have choices. We have multiple choices. It's not a duopoly. Well, technically it is a duopoly, but you don't have to fall for the duopoly. Okay. Jo Jorgensen could just as easily have been elected president if enough people had voted for her. All across the board. Oh, goodness gracious. I was with Bill, I think. Oh, man. I'll stick with blue. I think blue is not the non-murderer guy. When somebody else made it stuff, doesn't he? I guess I gotta play the game now. I can determine who wins and who doesn't win. Vote is deadlocked. Okay, well. Thank you. Probably it's dinner time, but I'm not hungry yet, so we're good. Playing this anyway. So I'm just going to follow blue around because I don't want to die. At least not in vain, you know. Yeah, blue could have killed me a long time ago. Dude, if you don't help me, I can't. If you don't stay close, I can't help you. We'll stick around to do a task. Uh-oh, they don't appear. Black. Doesn't matter. GG, good job, guys. Oops, oh, you lose. Just... okay. So anyway. Well, I can feel vindicated that, you know. Anyway. Guys, pick the right person that you feel is the best choice. Right? That's the whole argument that I'm making here. And that's the entire argument that you could argue is being made in this game, too. We know black was the right choice. There you go. There's the proof right there. Okay. And, you know, if you like Trump, you vote for Trump. If you like Biden, vote for Biden, right? That's how the game works. All right? But my vote was non-transferable because we do live in a system where there are more than just two people to vote for. And agreeing with someone only 80%, in my opinion, that's not enough. You don't vote for someone because you agree with them 60% or 70%. You vote for someone if you agree with them basically entirely. That's some bad settings for vision. I'm out of there. That's who you vote for. You vote for the person that you think agrees with you as much as possible. And according to this Fox correspondent, who's probably writing an opinion piece, she's like, well, libertarians probably agree with Trump 80%. No. No, I don't. Both, in my opinion, both parties, Republican and Democrat, are about taxing and spending. Just increase taxes or whatever and then spend it all. Don't even worry about a balanced budget. Don't even worry about cutting back the deficit. You know, the libertarians have ideas, have good ideas that I think could work if given a chance. And none of those ideas are supported by either the Republicans or the Democrats. Okay? Jo Jorgensen, for example, the Libertarian Party, for example, wants to do away with the IRS, wants to do away with federal income taxes, and wants to basically get rid of the, what's that thing that prints her money, basically? The Federal Reserve. Okay? She says the worst president was Woodrow Wilson. He established some kind of tax and, you know, began the Federal Reserve, which basically set up like a central bank, more or less, okay? Neither Trump nor Biden support anything she believes in, so... And therefore, they do not represent me. Therefore, my vote is not transferable to the Republican candidate or the Democrat candidate. It's just not transferable. Okay. I needed to pick a party that best represents my beliefs, that best represents my ideas, that best represents how I think the country should be run. And the LP party, this time around, got it right. Although typically it's been the Constitution Party. Now in my case, yes, I have a disability. So for me, a major part of this was, okay, I have a wife overseas in the Philippines. I do eventually want to be with her. But right now I'm disabled. I don't have a job. I have no income. My Social Security disability case has not yet been determined or decided. I'm still waiting on the results. They're taking it to the federal level. I have lawyers helping me out with this. Okay. So part of my problem was when I'm looking at Jo Jorgensen's platform, I'm thinking, okay, so she has this idea of getting rid of the Social Security system. Basically, take the thing out to pasture and shoot it because it's like a dying horse, right? That's the idea. Take it out to pasture and shoot it. It's done. Okay? How many tasks are there anyway, I wonder? So for me, that's kind of like, oh, because I kind of need that system in place. I'm kind of looking... I'm kind of needing that. Accepted, thank you. Perfect. Da-da-da-da-da-da. We're gonna wait a second. That's communication right there. Oh, what happened? Someone's got the speed way too far up. I don't like it. Non-transferable votes, guys. They're just non-transferable. Okay. Trump didn't earn my vote. And the concept that, you know, that he took away, or that the Libertarian Party took away votes from Republicans is not true. The concept that the Libertarian Party took away votes from the Democrat Party is not true. Okay? It's that these people like me, decided that neither of the two big parties we just decided they're not enough. They're not good enough. We don't agree with them enough. The ideals of the Libertarian Party that I'm supporting this year weren't represented in either Trump or Biden. Therefore, this concept of what if? Yes, I would have voted for Trump if there was no other choice. Or in reality, I could have stayed home and not voted at all, and simply written to my congressman and said, I think these ideas should be pushed through, and they're not being pushed through. Okay. So no, there's no such thing as a wasted vote. There's no such thing as a spoiler. Way too many tasks in this one. No such thing as a spoiler. Just there's not. Okay. I didn't spoil nothing. Again, to make my point clear, I was in New York State. I'm in New York State where I want to say electrical. You know, I live in a state where it wouldn't have mattered if I voted for Biden. He still would have won the state. If I voted for Trump, you know, if I voted for Trump, the state still would have went to Trump. Or no, I'm sorry. If I voted for Trump, the state, New York State, would have still went to Biden. It wouldn't have mattered. White, you're so mean. White man bad. White man bad. That was my joke off of Orange Man's bad. Since I'm a ghost, I don't have to worry about anything. Let's do my jobs in peace, right? We'll just kind of circle the block a couple times, guys. So now, yeah, no, what more can I say? We have choices. You know, this Fox News correspondent wants to say, "Oh, well, you're going to end up with Biden then." You don't agree with Biden, do you? No, I don't. But if I vote for Trump, and if Trump wins, I end up with Trump. And although I do think he has a lot of good ideas and a lot of good policies, he doesn't have enough of them. Okay? As a traditional conservative Christian, I do agree that, for example, pro-life is the best stance. Pro-life is not the only. It's not the only thing on the agenda here. Okay, it's not the only thing that is on my mind during during an election cycle. I also care about things like foreign affairs, war, stuff like what would it be called here? you know, I also care about things like financial policy, foreign policy. Not just abortion. As a traditional Christian, I think we should support Israel. But that's not the only thing on the agenda for me as a Christian, as a voter. Let's say let's say your platform is support Israel, fix the economy, lower the deficit, pro-life, but then you stand for a bunch of other things that I totally don't agree with. I'm still not going to vote for you. It's still not going to happen. I'm going to go look for someone that agrees with me more, who is pro-life, who supports Israel, who wants to lower the deficit, okay? And who wants other things done as well that I agree with. And although, yeah, in my case, it was kind of hard for me to pick Jo Jorgensen because of her ideas about basically taking Social Security out of pasture and shooting it in the head because it's dead. Okay. Get my map out here. I gotta try to fix these things here. Oh, it's a done game, and yeah, it's game over anyway. Still had to try, right? Oh, gotta press play again. I forgot. Okay, we're good. Sorry. So you might ask yourself, well, what does she believe in that makes you want to vote for her then if she doesn't agree with you on that social program? Because, yeah, I do need it. I would need that money coming in. She says instead, anyone who still has it, is still taking advantage of it, should be allowed to remain in the program and still get the money. And anyone who's entitled to it should still be able to get the money, but at the same time, it should be phased out gradually. And in the meantime, people that need help should be able to get it from family, church, community, or charity. And I think she's right. Right now, for example, my family is paying for my needs. I have epilepsy, I can't work. They're providing for me. If I was in a church group, the church could pitch in. In fact, we do get some food sometimes because we're having difficulty from a church group. A charity, for example, there's an epilepsy foundation. Maybe they could create funds for people like me who can't get help otherwise. Okay? But that was a difficulty for me because it's like, well, maybe the Democrats would be a better choice for me because of their policies on Social Security. But is the program really being funded? Is there money for Social Security? But if there's not, then it doesn't matter what they think about it. And technically there's not money there, because there always seems to be like a budget problem every time, right? Remember the shutdown earlier in the year? The actual government shutdown? Not just the shutdown to Corona, we're talking actual government shutdown. Because there was a problem with the budget. Remember that? I remember it. I remember. You think a Democrat was really going to fix that problem? I don't think so. Republicans weren't going to do it either. They can't fix it. Okay? You need an actual working system that's going to actually fix things financially. So then the other problem was, I talked to some lady who said, well, if you want your wife over here instead, that under this particular president, under this particular administration, it's probably not going to happen. Implying that maybe the Democrats were a better choice for me, but I don't believe that's the case either necessarily. Now, when I checked out Jo Jorgensen's platform, she says basically open the country back up to immigrants. Make it easier for people to immigrate here. Because that's how this country was founded, on immigrants. So I think she had a good idea, open the country up. That was one of my deciding factors when voting for her. Open up the country so people like my wife can come in. Instead of the federal government just assuming it's a sham marriage and shutting it down so she can't come here, the libertarians say, hey, don't assume that. Open the country up. Let people like my wife come into the country so I can be with my wife. So my wife can come here and help take care of her husband, because she's an able-bodied individual. I'm not, unfortunately. Speaking of which, you might be asking yourselves, well, you're doing this, aren't you? Guys, even doing this, sometimes my brain starts to fry, and I will sometimes start to have pre-seizure symptoms. Even after about an hour of doing this, sometimes it happens. Even focusing on this rant could set me off. So no, if you want to hire me a couple hours out of the week, by all means, go for it. If not, then don't worry about it. Okay? Even if you hire me a couple hours out of the week, it doesn't mean I will always show up on time for those shifts, because my brain's not reliable. I've got two shoulders that like to dislocate, especially if I have a seizure. I can't do physical work either, as long as my shoulders might dislocate. I can do calm, sedate type things, but beyond that, not for very long. My brain might fry. And my body might like stop working too, so that's just how it is. But in conclusion, after about an hour of talking your brains out, to the Fox News correspondent who wrote that article that I read today, no, I didn't ruin the election for Trump. And for those who might say, well, you ruined it for Biden too because Biden could have used your support. Guys, Biden won New York State. Check out the stats from the Associated Press. My one vote was not going to fix Trump's chances in New York, and I think even if all of the people that voted for Jo Jorgensen in New York State, even if they had voted for Trump, he still wouldn't have won New York State. And that assumes that people that voted for the Libertarian candidate agree more with Trump than they do with Biden. But that's not true. Jo Jorgensen herself says she has people from both parties helping her out with her campaign. People from both the Republican side of the fence and the Democrat side of the fence who were registered with those parties said, nope, we want to help you instead this year. There's no spoilers going on. It's simply that Jo Jorgensen had more appeal to certain people, and that Trump and Biden just failed to properly appeal to people like me. That's all it was about. Not a spoiler, not a wasted vote. So yes, I've got a bit of an axe to grind, because whenever someone says, well, you wasted your vote, the only wasted vote is when you vote for someone that you do not agree with. That is the wasted vote. I'm not about to waste my vote for someone or on someone that I do not agree with fully or fully enough. I think she had good ideas. I voted for Jo Jorgensen. That's all there is to it. If you will listen to my rant, let me know what you think. Am I crazy? Do I make a good point? Should I have voted for Biden and given him one more vote in New York State? Should I have voted for Trump and helped him get one more vote in New York State? Would that one vote in Monroe County, in New York State, near Rochester, have made a difference in a county that is solid blue on the map? Let me know your thoughts below. As always, questions, comments, constructive criticism, you know what to do. And as always, Virus 2020, wash your hands, man. See ya.